You're listening to Tuesday Morning Quarterbacks with Don Carpenter and Chris Brennel.
News Talk 1270 KIML. We have an emergency here. I can hear Chris's stomach grumbling from across the room with my headphones on.
I'm so hungry. We need an intern or something. Don't you guys think we need an intern?
I have chocolate-covered pretzels.
Today is National DJ Day.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
See, you need a National DJ Day. We hire you an intern. What do you think?
No.
Oh, here we go.
I don't need that.
Just don't eat into the mic. Don't eat into the mic. Just eat away from the mic.
Oh, that's good.
They are good. The candy lady comes around once in a while and brings all kinds of stuff. And I tried the chocolate-covered pretzels this time, and they're pretty good.
Very tasty.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget, you got to get your French toast and Reuben at the same time today. So
French toast and a Reuben?
Yeah, apparently what do we call them? We call them the coffee club. It's Chris.
The coffee club. I like
Chris,
that.
It's Chris, Dan, Kayla, Sammy. They all go out to lunch every day. They always have to figure out, what are we doing for lunch today? Where are we going? It's every single day. You don't notice this, Don?
Oh no! Well, they've asked me to go along before, but it's usually. But normally I go home and take a nap, so it's not really.
And big arguments break out. It's like Congress in there when we're discussing where to go for lunch.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So anyhow, apparently Kayla was explaining a story one time when I guess he bought French toast and then a Reuben at the same. He said it was supposed to be once for breakfast and once for lunch, or once for lunch and once for dinner. And I guess he ate both at the same time.
I lied. They were good together.
Well,
I'm not ashamed.
So it wasn't a Reuben made with French toast. It was two separate orders.
Two separate orders.
Okay.
I just ate a lot of food.
He was being a pig.
Well, I've done that myself before. So the KFC buffet, I destroyed the KFC buffet last night.
Oh man!
Well, everything was fresh. I mean, went in there at the right time. They had all the original recipe. I destroyed that buffet last night.
I heard they kicked you out.
No. They love me there. I'm a regular at every fast food place in town. They love me. and the buffet is great because they can't screw up your order. You just get whatever you want.
Exactly.
They see me coming. They put out fresh cobbler. They put out fresh dark meat, original crispy or original recipe, and everything's happy. Okay, so we better talk some basketball. The Pronghorns, the Pronghorn men had a pretty decent weekend.
Yeah, they went 2-0 over the weekend. I have my scorebook with me here. Hold on, let's.
Ladies, not so much.
Oh, we'll start out with the beginning. Ladies, on Friday night, they took on Western Wyoming, both the Pronghorn women and the Pronghorn men. Pronghorn women falling 61-56 to Western Wyoming on Friday night. Pronghorn men winning that one 66-59. On Saturday, they took on Casper College. The Pronghorn women losing 78-59. The Pronghorn men winning that one 84-70. And tonight's going to be a fun night. It's Sheridan College. They play for that Golden Basketball Globe Trophy. And Sheridan and Gillette, of course, they're considered sister institutions. They're part of the NWCCD, Northwestern Community College District, I believe is what it is. They are part of the same entity, basically. So it's a good rival there. Of course, on the women's side tonight, you have Sheridan College coming to town. You have a former Campbell County alum that's going to be playing for them. She's played for them last year. She's playing for them this year as well. She'll be playing for Black Hills State starting next season, that being Sierra Toms. She's averaging 16.1 points a game. That is second best on the team. Tiana Hansen's averaging 21.5 for Sheridan College. So Sheridan College against the Pronghorn women, game time 5:30. The men's game should be a good close game. Last Friday night's game against Western Wyoming, it was close. The game on Saturday was not as close, but it was still close at times. And I have a feeling tonight's game against Sheridan should be close as well.
Well, there were a couple times in the men's game it was within single digits. It was high single digits, but there were a few.
You? Oh, you were listening.
Yeah.
You were board hopping.
Yeah.
So you were listening to the game.
No, I heard the game. So
Jessica came out to the game on Friday night. It was like, holy cow, Jessica's in the stands? Seriously? One of our sales reps, the Steve Store gal. And I was like, wow, all right, cool. Supposedly Terry wants to come out tonight too. I guess because he wants to see Sierra Toms play.
Yeah, he'll be there.
So.
yeah, well, see,
The day we get Chris Brindle to come out is the day hell freezes over.
Well, I would tonight, but I have my yoga class. I can't miss that.
Well, and I have to be up at 3:00 in the morning.
Same here. I got yoga and have to be up at 3.
Oh, my
I'll one
Lord.
up you, DC, on that one.
Jeez.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to do yoga. So you win. I'm not even going to try.
I don't want to see Chris do yoga, so don't
I'm
worry
very
about
flexible.
Yeah, see, I'm not anymore. I have two bad knees and a bad back.
Oh, jeez.
Yoga would probably help me, but I just can't do it.
Sunday, Pronghorn women play at 5:30 tonight. Pronghorn men play at 7:30 tonight. Then they'll go on the road next Saturday, or this coming Saturday, as they take on Miles Community College, of course, in Miles City, Montana. As those games, I don't think they'll be as challenging as tonight's games. Let's put it that way. But you never know. Of course, it'll be on the road, Miles City, Montana, or Miles Community College. Head coach Sean Neary, the Pronghorn men's team, that was his former team before he coached Derry. He coached for Miles City, Montana, over at Miles Community College. So he always likes playing Miles Community College. And so that's the game plan for this week. They take on Sheridan today, and then they'll go on the road on Saturday to take on Miles Community College. So lots of great basketball going on for Gillette College.
How many more of these Tuesday night games do they have?
They don't have too many of them.
Yeah,
Lots of them are Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, I saw it on the schedule. Tuesday night, but I mean it's a good night to have a game because there's really not not the Camels aren't playing, so
right.
It's not you're not competing with 1,000 other sporting events
or 1,000 other things going on in town.
Well,
RV show and
that is true.
Wasn't the RV show last weekend? And everything else going on as well. So, good time to come on out. These will be good games to watch. Of course, you're going to have 3 local Campbell County alums playing on the women's side. Sierra Toms on the Sheridan side, and on the Gillette College side, you have Whitney George and Bridget Cargill. So you'll have 3 former Camels playing tonight on the same floor at the same time. So that game at 5:30, and then if you have not been to a Pronghorn men's game, last year was fun to watch. This year's turning out to be fun to watch. It's just, the way they're able. Cavell Bigby Williams, the big, tall 6'8" guy, going in and just barely having to jump off the ground to get a jam, and just go out and watch a game.
Well, and they managed to get the offense a little bit back on because they had a rough time a couple weeks ago.
I think the biggest thing was they were not selfish. That was one thing that head coach Sean Neary really talked about that trip. When they went on the road to play Central and Northwest, they were very selfish. They weren't passing the ball around, weren't playing like a team. This past weekend, I did not see any of that when I was calling the game. They definitely, I think there were a total of 6 players on Friday night's game that scored, and 7 or 8 players on Saturday night's game that scored. So they definitely passed the ball around, and that was something that head coach Sean Neary wanted to see. So hopefully they'll continue that tonight. And tonight, the Pronghorn men are 16-4. Not Casper College, but Sheridan College on the men's side, I think, is 15-4. So it's going to be a good game.
Very, very close matchup.
On the women's side, Sheridan College is, I think, 12-3 or something. The Sheridan College women, they were ranked as high as 18 in the nation. I'm going off the cuff here. I haven't filled out my whole book yet, but the Pronghorn women, they're 9-9, so it'll definitely be a tougher test for the Pronghorn women compared to the men tonight. So,
well, and the Pronghorn men, I think what was impressive is their defense was very good last week, and that was kind of the difference. But I want to ask you something, the question about their confidence level, because a couple weeks ago, they didn't play very well. Coach Neary wasn't happy with how his team played. They played better this week. Do you think their confidence is back, or do you think they still need to build it back up a little bit? What do you think their psyche's like?
I don't think it was a confidence issue. I think the issue was, being on the road, being back from the holiday break, not really getting too many practices in, and he started off the second half of the season on the road, I think is what it was. I don't think there's a lack of confidence at all when it comes to the men's side of the team. It's just
A little rusty?
maybe a little rusty, and head coach Chanier was saying, they weren't passing the ball around. They were being selfish.
I was talking more confidence after the first week.
Oh, you mean
like that had to hurt them a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure after getting the win against Western Wyoming, they were good, and then a good win against Casper College as well. In the two games, they were both teams that they played had only 2 or 3 losses. So both teams they played were good, hard wins that they got on the home floor. They'll try and get another one here tonight against Sheridan College. And Miles is not going to be as tough a challenge on Saturday. But, again, you're playing on the road. So we'll have to see how they do on the road, because they lost against Central and they lost against Northwest on the road. We'll see if it's just a road.
And you never know what's going to happen. I mean, that's one of the things you learn from pretty much any sport at this point.
Right.
That's why they play the games. We only have a couple of minutes left before we have to wrap up. Tonight, 93.3 The Legend. The women's game starts at 5:30. Men's at 7:30.
Right.
And you'll be out at South Campus calling the games.
Yep, I'll be out there for those. You can also listen online through basinsradio.com. And seriously, if you have nothing going on tonight, come on down to the South Campus. It's their biggest rival. Sheridan College is the biggest rival for Gillette College. Behind them, I would say, would be Casper. And I think it's going to be some fun basketball tonight, especially on the men's side. And on the women's side, like I said, you have 3 former Campbell County High School alums that are playing tonight. So, and a couple D1s on the men's side. Oh yeah. Those of you who don't know, on the men's side, Renard Suggs verbally committed, has signed now to play for Washington State. Lorenzo Bonham is signed to play for Southern Miss. Quentin Everett is signed to play for Montana State. Cavell Bigby Williams was a Montana State prospect, but he's from London, so due to foreign grading policies and all this other stuff, that's why he's playing for Gillette for 2 years, and then most likely he'll ship out to Montana State if he doesn't do it at the end of this season into next season. So whenever they can work out that kind of stuff. Right. I can't even imagine coming all the way over from London to Gillette, Wyoming. It must be a huge culture shock. Oh, and we've had players from Australia. We currently have a guy on the team that's from Turkey. Sarp Gabelulu is from Turkey. So yeah, we have a wide range of players. And as a matter of fact, one of the assistant coaches for Montana State was there watching. I think it was Friday night's game. Was there watching Quentin Everett play, and of course I'm sure Cavell Bigby Williams play as well. And they both had decent games, so that's good. Yeah, okay, sounds good. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back and we'll talk with Coach Winkler. He should be here any minute. News Talk 1270 KIML.
An hour without politics? Yes.
It's about time.
Tuesday morning quarterbacks on News Talk 1270 KIML.
Game on! They score! Pay that man his money!
What a game we got going. Lucic mashes Jones. Crimea River.
He scores! I'm a lead farmer!
Oh, Thomas lost Kovalchuk! Ah, you better pay him in rubles. That was an unbelievable save off the Russian.
And this series is going back to where Jimmy Hoffa is!
It's time for the Gillette Wild Report with Coach Tom Winkler.
He scores! Ball! The meatloaf!
And the Tuesday morning quarterbacks on News Talk 1270 KIML.
He scores! Summertime is coming to Philadelphia!
And welcome back, News Talk 1270. I always forget that one's in the computer.
Have you ever been to Philadelphia?
I used to live in Philadelphia.
I've been to Philadelphia. Yeah. It's a nice little city.
Yeah.
City of brotherly love.
Yeah, that name makes no sense for that
It's
city.
nice unless you live there.
Are you kidding me?
Actually, Philadelphia gets a reputation for people being rude, but it's not that bad. New York's not that bad either. The people in New York, for the
I've
most
been
part,
to
are
New
friendly.
York,
Yeah, but I lived in Philly, and the people were fine. I even lived in a pretty bad neighborhood, and I never had problems. Never had.
Was it West Philadelphia?
It was Cheltenham area.
Oh, but you weren't born and raised.
No, not born and raised.
On a playground where you spent most of your days.
Yeah.
I don't think he got that. I don't think he got that.
Oh no, I got it. I just can't remember the next line. I think I grew up closer to Bel Air.
That was good. I like that. That was fun.
Should
All
we
right.
finish it?
No.
See, I don't remember the rest of the lines.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spend most of my days.
We shouldn't finish it. No. that's-
I could just see you dancing like that one guy.
I love in the intro he's getting spun around by that big guy. That's hilarious.
For those of you that don't know what we're talking about the Fresh Prince of Bel Air back in the 90s.
I was recently I was behind someone at one of the fast food places around here that was playing that in their car stereo. They had the long version. I didn't even know there was a long version.
Good old Jazzy Jeff.
Oh man. I guess we should talk hockey, huh?
Well, yeah, we
Sports.
Yeah, we can talk whatever we want. Okay, so pretty good weekend for the Wild. You kind of turn things around a little bit.
Bounce back weekend, yeah. We certainly weren't thrilled with the Helena weekend, and we played Helena twice that Friday, Saturday, and then Bozeman goes into Helena and beats them 1-0 on Sunday. So last weekend, so we knew we had a formidable task with an opponent that's their record certainly doesn't reflect where they are as a team and how they've been playing, and both games were dogfights, and I thought we played two pretty good road games.
Well, now you didn't score until the third period of the first game, and it looks like, just by judging by the box score, it looked like it was a pretty physical game up until the point where you scored, and then it seems like you kind of took over.
Yeah, it was. Both games were physical, and both teams competed hard, and we played pretty well Friday night. I mean, we just. We're sitting there at intermission between the second period, and the score's still 0-0, and Coach McLeod and I are looking at each other going, we could be up 3 or 4-0 right now. I mean, we played well. We hit a couple posts. We had several chances that we just didn't bury. So it was one of those games where it was, if we started to get frustrated and our guys started to be frustrated that things weren't going, pucks weren't going in, then that's when you can end up on the wrong side of the scoreboard in a game like that. And one of the things I really liked about how we played was we didn't get frustrated. We just kept playing. We stuck to our game plan, and we got that goal with about 7 minutes left to go, which gave us the 1-0 cushion. And they had a lot of pushback after that, and I thought we did a nice job of responding. And then Kyle Riley got one with about a minute left to go, and gave us a little bit of breathing room. But it was a battle. I mean, they're a very, very good hockey team. I think they're a very underrated hockey team, and like I said before, I think they've had a lot of games like that have teetered, and unfortunately for them, they end up on the wrong side of them. But good for us that we were able to persevere and get that goal and go from there.
Well, and I will say, you guys got shots. I mean, you had 37 shots, and their goaltender looks like he put up a pretty good game.
Very solid. He's been very, very solid for them. I think he had won 3 in a row up to that point, and he was in net when they shut out Helena, which is no small task. Anybody knows that. So, he played extremely well. He's a young man from Latvia, and he's a very, very solid goaltender.
Not going to try to pronounce his name.
Me neither.
But I can pronounce Feast, and he had a great game too.
Yeah, Feast was solid, and we did have some plays where we kind of broke down a little bit and gave up some odd man rushes, and when we needed the save, he was there. So, like I said, we played a very solid road game Friday.
Okay, and looks like Banks had another scrap. I mean, you want to talk about that one?
Banksy is you know, he's a tough kid. He's a tough kid, and you know, and he's got a reputation as being tough, and he plays hard and he plays physical, and you know, he obviously logs top 6 minutes for us. So I think that was honestly a scenario. That one was kind of a surprise to us, and the timing was, you know, and honestly not the best time because it was at a minute or two into the second period, which DQ'd him for the rest of the game. So, you know, I think it was a ploy on their part to try and get something going, and you know, I think at that point in time it was safe to say that it backfired on him a little bit. But you know, Banksy's not one to back down. He's one to step up and protect his teammates and do what needs to be done. And you know, I think after the game he probably, you know, thought or wished he would have played a little bit more during the course of the game than be in that situation. But you know, again, it's one of those things that kind of happens.
Well, and you mentioned he was kind of is it one of the situations where the kid just came up to him and said, "Let's go," or was he bugging him for a while? Or
I you know, honestly, I'm not really sure, Donnie. We're watching the play up ice, the play's going up ice, and then all of a sudden I hear "uh-oh," and I turn around and see, you know, gloves on the ice. So
well,
Wait, hold on. Wait.
uh-oh.
Hold on. You can get away with calling him Donnie. Can I call him Donnie? Can I call
I
you?
don't care.
I like that name. Thank you very much, Coach Winkler. I have a couple questions that I want to get to.
Oh, the family calls me that.
Okay.
So it's all right.
You're coming down in the final stretch. You have what, about 10 games left or
11 games.
Okay.
Yep.
How are we looking playoff, or how are you looking playoff wise? And with your schedule, are you feeling confident, or are you thinking it's going to be a little tough down the final stretch here?
Well, I think you know, as far as playoffs goes, you know, I haven't redone the math and the max points for remaining games for teams, but I think we're if we haven't already, we're very close to mathematically clinching a playoff spot, which, you know, we haven't even really talked about. I mean, obviously that's a goal and you need to accomplish it, but we're kind of still in that dogfight for second place. I mean, right now we want home ice. We want home ice advantage in the playoffs. The playoffs are best of 3, and that would mean 2 of 3 games at home. You know, and obviously we're looking at potentially right now, if playoffs started today, it would be a first round matchup with Helena. You know, so right now it's really, you know, we're not putting emphasis on clinching the playoffs as much as we are as maintaining where we're at in the standings. And obviously, you know, you look at our schedule. January was by far our toughest stretch of games. You've had, you know, you got Helena for 2, then you come back with Bozeman for 2. Now we've got Great Falls coming up for 2. Then we go to Helena for 2. And that's a pretty. I mean, that can be a standings determining stretch right there. And at this stage of the game in that mix, where, you know, we had 2 with Yellowstone early on that we won. So, you know, right now in that stretch of 8 games that are pretty critical, we're sitting at 2-2. So we need to take care of business this weekend against Great Falls, and obviously those are never easy games. A very, very solid hockey team, and you know, I'm not trying to give you the old cliches of one game at a time, but that's really kind of how we're approaching this. But, you know, everybody does look at the schedule, and this 8-game stretch is pretty critical for us, and it's not easy. And obviously it's good from a standpoint that these games all have playoff implications. I mean, everything has, you know, you lose one game and the next thing you know, you're leapfrogged by the team behind you. And, you know, then you've got Billings that's been kind of nipping on everybody's heels since October, really. You know, they've put a nice little winning streak together, so they're you know, not that far behind us on the win side. So every game has huge magnitude. Every game has playoff implications, and it's a very difficult stretch run of our schedule right now. You know, but that being said, you know, I've always said it takes about 50 points to get into the playoffs, and right now we're sitting at 49 points. You know, so I think as far as making the playoffs, if we're not already mathematically in, we're very, very close. But
that
really,
home ice is huge.
The home ice is huge, and obviously, you know, one thing too is, you know, we've been in the playoffs every year, but we have not had home ice advantage yet. And that's something that I made a goal and the team has made a goal from the get-go that we really want. And the biggest part of the reason is we want our fans to be able to experience multiple games on our ice in springtime in the playoffs, because I just think the atmosphere would be absolutely electric and tremendous. And our fans have been very, very supportive of us. So, that's kind of what we want to do to thank them and reward them for supporting us, is get that home ice.
Well, and then the eventual goal is to move on to the big tournament.
Yeah. You got to win. You got to win. There's a lot of steps to this. I mean, obviously, it's making the playoffs, and even though it's a divisional thing and there's 7 teams in our division, again, you look at the teams that are below us, and I don't really feel their records reflect where any of those teams are at. You've got Glacier down there, and they've beaten Helena, they've beaten Great Falls, and they've taken Helena to overtime. So, I mean, there's a team right there that a couple bounces, just like Bozeman, they have 5 or 6 more wins, and this whole thing is a mess. So, getting out of our division into the playoffs is no easy task. And then once you're in the playoffs, there's obviously 4 teams that are very capable of doing well in the postseason and excelling. And then once you get past that, then you've got to go to the Silver Cup, which is the NA3HL championship, and each divisional playoff winner goes, and then the 6th team is actually a wild card team, which would be it would go to the losing team in any of the brackets that has the highest winning percentage in the regular season. So that's the 6th team that goes and makes up the Silver Cup tournament in Chicago in March. And then if you're lucky enough to get out of that and survive that, then you go to the national tournament. So, the regular season is key, is critical. And then obviously you need to get to the playoffs. And then once you're there, you need to get on a roll, and you need to take advantage of that opportunity. So, there's obviously still a lot of work to be done.
Well, you certainly can't back in. I mean, that's the thing. You can't back in.
Nope.
So, and I mean, I'm looking over the schedule. Let's see. I mean, this weekend, of course, you have Great Falls. Then you're away for a couple weekends. You're back, and then you're away. So you have quite a few home games left. Out of the remaining 11 games, it looks like about 7 of them are at home. So you have a good number of home games. And for anybody that hasn't been to a Wild game, the crowd makes a huge difference.
Oh, it's ruckus.
Yeah.
I've been to one game. It was a great experience. The crowd is crazy there.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a playoff atmosphere.
No, it is. It's a great atmosphere, and it's the nicest thing we like to hear is teams like to come here because we have the best hotel in the league, we have the best rink in the league, and they love it. And then they'll turn around and say, "But yeah, we hate to play here because of your fans." And that's what you want. I mean, it is. It's a very, very tough building to come in and play in, and it is loud. It's loud. It's and they're very supportive. We had one game earlier. It was in between, I think, the first and second period, and we had just played very, very poorly. Just everything was just nothing was going right. But more importantly, our effort wasn't there. And I walked in between the intermissions, and I just told the guys one thing. I said, I want you to think about something. I said, as poorly as we played, these people had every right to boo us off the ice. And they didn't. They gave you a standing ovation coming off the ice after probably one of our worst periods of the year. I said, you need to realize that, and you need to go out, and you need to put an effort that's worthy of their support. And we did. We responded and bounced back. But, the point is that, even when we don't have our best, these people still have our back, and they're still behind us. And that means a lot. It's like watching the football game the other day up in Seattle. They have that banner for the 12th man, which is what their stadium is. And really ours is the 7th man. I mean, you got 6 guys on the ice, and then you have the fans in the stands. And I think our fans are a huge reason why we've had a lot of third period comebacks and why our building is an extremely difficult place to play.
I will say the people up in those bleachers, once they start stomping, that place starts shaking.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can feel it down in the ice.
It's loud. You can
is
hear
it RFK style?
Yeah.
Can they move like RFK?
The ones up top do.
Yeah,
really?
they have bleachers and they have regular seats, but the bleachers they're all, I think they're halfway folded out if I'm not mistaken. And you know how Camplex is. I mean, it's very modular, but it's definitely it's definitely loud when people start stomping on those plastic bleachers.
Okay.
It is. It's great. Great environment. We're very spoiled, and we're very lucky.
Okay, so this weekend coming up, you have Pronghorn weekend, kind of a crossover to benefit the Gillette College Foundation. Of course, they do all kinds of stuff, scholarships, and help with the facilities over at Gillette College. Special jerseys,
specially designed Pronghorn jerseys. Yeah, they're really sharp. They're light blue. They've got I think they kind of mimic the basketball team jerseys a little bit. But they're pretty sharp. They're pretty nice, and obviously just like we normally do, we'll wear those both games, and then they'll be auctioned off after Saturday's game. There's a skate with the players, and then like you said, all that money is going to go to the Gillette College Foundation to help them out. So again, just another great local, a local institution that we can help out, and they've been very supportive and pulling this off and helping us get it together. And obviously it's a huge weekend. It's a huge weekend of hockey. The games are huge, and another great event to help, like I said, another local organization that again supports us as well.
Well, I know I'll definitely be out there at least Friday night. I'm going to try Saturday, but I haven't been to a Saturday game yet. I usually can only make the Friday ones, but I'll be out there. I think Chris is going to be out there. We're going to have we'll have a full contingent out there cheering for you guys, and there'll probably be another 700 or 800 people behind us.
We have hot dogs, nachos,
I like
Coors. This is going to be a good time.
I like the pretzels. The pretzels are what I get every time.
See what I'm talking about, Coach Winkler?
He won't go to Mount Rushmore,
No.
but he's all psyched up
It's all
about the nachos.
food.
They have a pretty good concession stand in Mount
that hot
Rushmore.
dog's delicious.
I was going to ask Chris if you have any questions for me, because you just sit over there, but you eat your bowl of soup and you think about nachos. So
He's carb loading.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
Yeah, I'm always carb loading, except it's sugar. But it really is a fun time, and we'll get you out to Mount Rushmore at some point. You only have to.
I won't pay $10.
I'll put you in my
price.
car. I'll take you out there. We go out there. You can ride with us.
Okay, cool.
You
I'm
can
in.
babysit my kids.
You only
Then you'll wish you had paid the $10.
Can I pay to see that? I'll pay to see that. I will pay to see him.
Hannah
Babysit
would chew him up. She would
I
spit him
bet.
out.
I totally believe that.
you only pay once a year. I mean, you get a parking pass, and it's good for all year. And then you can go as many times. You don't.
And
pay,
I'm sure they have nachos.
But,
Well, that
but
changes
here's the-
everything. I
He'll
didn't
be
know
like,
that.
He'll be like,
It's a good
well,
deal.
once I've seen it, I'm not going to go again. I've already seen it. Why would I go again? That's that's my.
It's a
Chris
national
Riddle.
treasure, man. Come on.
it really is cool. And they have they do
He
have
probably
nachos.
sits out his apartment window and takes his binoculars and looks at Devil's Tower. Yeah, I've been there. Check it out.
No, when
Hey,
he
that's a good plan,
No,
though.
he probably didn't even realize when he was driving down 90 to go to Spearfish where Devil's Tower was. Probably wasn't clear enough for him to see it, so he can't put it off his checklist. Yeah, I saw Devil's Tower all the way up there.
I knew I should just lie and said I went to see Rushmore.
See,
This is what you get for telling the truth.
I will admit I've been here 2 years and I haven't been to Devil's. The only thing I've seen is from the highway.
Oh, you got to go to Devil's Tower. That's fun, too.
That's pretty cool, too.
That's the only one I haven't seen yet. And Yellowstone.
Oh, they don't
you
don't
gotta-
charge anymore.
Yellowstone?
No, I never.
Wow.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yellowstone?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to go out there every weekend. Just never went to Yellowstone. You went to Cody and Powell every weekend.
Is the Devil's Tower used to charge, right?
It's a national.
But they don't.
yeah,
they don't anymore. I
yeah.
just read that on Paul
It
Wallen's
was only
news.
one day.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
National Park Day, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's sad. I'm not going there.
Yeah, it's like $10. It's worth it. No, see, I'm waiting to get a telephoto lens for my camera.
You know what you guys need
for-
to get
for
him?
Yellowstone.
You know what you need to get him for Christmas or his birthday or whatever? Just get him a national parks pass.
He still won't use it.
Oh, I'd use it. Go ahead and give me that pass.
Actually,
Because that's like only $40 for the year or something.
and it's all of them.
Yeah, it's
Grand
that's
Canyon and everything.
best deal
Oh,
ever.
Yeah. Well, we're completely out of time.
And they have nachos in Yellowstone too. So.
Yeah. Remember the Wild against Great Falls, Friday, Saturday night, 7:05, puck drop time, Spirit Hall Ice Arena. Thanks a lot, Coach. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
Stay tuned for Rush.
For interviews, host blogs, and more, check out Basin Radio Network on Facebook. Don Carpenter on News Talk 1270 KIML.